everybody, welcome to the DDC Studios YouTube channel. This is DDC Studios owner and publisher David Hayner, and today's video is a topic that was actually brought to my attention thanks to a Facebook group I'm a part of called Small Press Heroes, that is administered by, well, I would call him a titan, if you will, of mini comic publication, Terry Flippo. He does one of the best mini comic and comic strips probably in small press going today, and has for the past few years, called Axel and Alex. And honestly, if you are new to making mini comics, I do recommend, if you are on Facebook, to jump over to Small Press Heroes and put in an application to join the group, because you are just... it's a wealth of knowledge that is shared by everybody there. Awesome bunch of folks that, create mini comics. And they're always willing to share their knowledge. But anyway, there was a topic that he broached in the group this weekend that really got me to thinking. And that was, what genres do mini comics kind of excel at handling? What type of stories? And there was just all sorts of ideas as far as what folks thought, but really what it boils down to, in a nutshell, is more personal type stories really excel in the world of mini comics. Granted, you can do superhero fare. I mean, I'm the perfect example with The Domain. But even like The Domain is not what you call your typical superhero comic book. With the subject matter and more to the point with the types of characters we're using, once again, it's kind of a niche subject. But really, if you look over the vast majority of mini comics on the market, they are more personal stories, whether they're more humor based or just kind of what you call slice of life type comics. The slice of life genre really is kind of the mini comics bread and butter, just because by virtue of the fact that your average mini comic creator has a very personal story usually that they want to tell, and when that's the case, that's going to usually take the shape of a slice of life type comic, whether it's humorous, serious, romance driven, even horror could actually fall into that slice of life kind of super category, if you will. And really, I think the reason why these personal type comic stories really flourish in the world of mini comics is just because the making of a mini comic, as I say over and over again, is a very personal thing. Like I always say, from start to finish, everything with a mini comic is handmade. There usually is no middleman involved. It's handwritten, hand-drawn, whether digitally or traditionally, hand-printed, whether on a photocopier or a personal printer, and then it's hand-assembled, using the creator's own two hands to make the folds and to make the staples, and, they're packaged by that creator. So, something that is made that personally, really benefits from the fact that the creator's story itself is something very personal as well. So I guess this is a very large preamble. We're almost halfway through the video, in saying that if you are a creator that's looking at making kind of a slice of life type comic book, I really do recommend looking at doing a mini comic, just because you are going to find arguably more success in the world of mini comics than you will in regular comics and graphic novels. Just because, we got to be, we just have to be blunt and be truthful with it. Here in the United States, in Western comics, it's really is the realm of the superhero. With that said, yes, of course, there are, very, very successful non-superhero based comics. I can already see the comments now and hear you thinking, okay, well, what about Bone? What about Cerebus? What about my personal favorite Poison Elves? What about, Terry Moore's comics, so on and so forth. Yes, I get that. But your average person, when they think about comic books, traditional comic books here in America, they're thinking superheroes. They're thinking Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and the X-Men. Where when you think of mini comics, quite frankly, that's when you're seeing the more non-traditional genres, if you will. Once again, your slice of life, your humor comics, quite frankly, your funny animal comics, horror comics, autobiographical, which kind of fall into the slice of life, if you will. So I just thought this would, this is kind of more of a free-flowing discussion as opposed to a lot of our recent episodes that were kind of me espousing advice to creators. I just found it to be a very interesting topic that I want, all of you folks that are listening to kind of think about it as well. That if you're looking at making a mini comic also, but maybe think outside of the box if you're trying to come up with an idea for a mini comic. Don't maybe jump right into the superhero realm, if you will. Once again, like with us at DDC Studios, goodness, the domain was the fourth-ish title that we put out, well before, it's about the fifth title, actually, if you want to count Parental Guidance Suggested, since we do the physical collections of those strips. So, it was the fifth comic title we put out, before we even thought about doing superheroes. So definitely, mine your past life, because strangely enough, no matter how boring you think your life may be, I'm here to tell you, you have dozens upon dozens of compelling stories that you can tell in the form of a mini comic. Because trust me, one of my heroes when it comes to comic books, Harvey Pekar of American Splendor, it was kind of like he always said, everyday life is very complex stuff. So just think long and hard about what has maybe gone on in your life, or heck, what your average daily routine is, and you're actually can find some very, very dramatic and compelling stories that you can tell in the pages of your mini comic. Really, I recommend giving it a shot. Okay, with that said, I think you've probably listened to me rambling on and on long enough about this topic, so we're going to go ahead and close out the video for today. But always thank you ever so much for listening to me ramble. And please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. And as always, please feel free to leave a comment down below, as we always greatly appreciate any type of feedback, whether it be positive or negative, that you all can give us to help improve this channel. And also, if you want to check out any of DDC Studios' currently in-print comic books, you can find them in the Webstore link below. That's also the place to get all sorts of DDC Studios original art. You can even commission me to do a sketch card of literally any character you want me to do. You can also check out our t-shirt shop, where we currently have 3 different styles of t-shirts for sale. The DDC Studios logo t-shirt, the Domain logo t-shirt, and a Black Owl emblem t-shirt. All 3 of those shirts are available in every size that they make t-shirts in, and they only are $20 a piece. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram, with the links in the description as well. And I guarantee you, if you follow me on both Twitter and Instagram, I will follow you back. All right, once again, thanks ever so much for listening. We'll have another video up for you guys here in just a couple more days. Bye.